on. All right. So this really is a topic, guys, that I feel is so near and dear to so many of our hearts. The process of really working to regulate our blood sugar because it's so impactful in every area of our life, start to finish, lips to hips, mind to body, right? So that's the reason I chose this topic. I do want to say I am not your doctor. I am not the expert in this field. I am very passionate about what we can do with supporting people in healthy blood sugar regulation, but you will need to work with your physician if this is something that you're working hard to overcome or to work on in your life. So my name is Shelly Bowe, and as you can see, we've been working on different topics for the last 9 months. I've got 25 years in this industry, which has led me to wanting to choose to educate people out there from the basics to heart health, to focus, to gut health. And now tonight, here we are talking about different things with blood sugar regulation. The next two will be January and February, where we will cover men's health and children's health. And for all my co-hosts, if there's ever a time where you lose my picture or you lose my voice, please just pop right on and let me know, because I can't see any of you. All I can see is my presenter slide. So things have changed, haven't they, guys? We used to be out there bicycling, baseball, football, chores for us farm kids. And unfortunately, we've now been moved into a world where it's, run to the fast food restaurant, grab something quick, ride around on a lawnmower rather than push it. And we've really changed our lifestyle. And so much of this has contributed to a sedentary lifestyle. But I'm not going to say that we are all to blame, because there is so much that's happened in the food industry that really, I believe we are now moving into a season, a phase where they will become more accountable for what the things they're putting in our foods. So if it's time to make a change for you, why is it time to make a change for you? It always has to start with why. If you want to provide your body with better nutrients and you want it to function more optimally, why do you want that? What would your life look like if you were aging more gracefully, if the inside and the outside matched, right? Do you want increased energy? Do you want to have better mental clarity? Do you want your body to be stronger and more capable? And if the answer is yes to any of those things, then you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. So blood sugar regulation and its impact on our health is the topic for this evening. Tonight, I want to talk about understanding the connections between our weight management issues, diabetes, insulin resistance and sensitivity, heart disease, and even cancer. Some of the things that we will hit on and the topics that I hope to lay the foundation on are really looking at what is blood sugar regulation anyway. I don't even know what you speak of. What is its role in my overall health? Really, is it impacting, other organs? I thought it was just sugar. Diseases that might be linked to poor sugar control, like diabetes and heart disease and cancer. And again, guys, you must work with your physician, but you do have a choice in the matter to say, I want to take a more natural, holistic approach to my health. Will you work with me? So we want to talk a little bit more about the basics of blood sugar regulation. What if we just simplify this for you tonight? Knowing that glucose, sugar, it is a primary source of energy. We understand that, right? We have to have some sugar in the body. The function of insulin is to regulate the blood sugar. So as sugar comes in, the pancreas kicks in the insulin, and the hormone insulin supports the sugar in getting to where it needs to be. But what happens if it's not able to? What happens if there's too much or too little? So the role of glucose in weight management is one that I would say probably 80% of the people on here tonight know a little bit about, because they've worked with me for years in supporting other people in regulating the way they're eating, the foods they're eating, when and what they're putting in their mouth. How is that food actually impacting the blood sugar? How is the excess glucose stored as fat? Isn't that interesting? For years, we were cutting the fat out of our diet, lower the fat, low fat this, low fat that. We got fatter than ever when we lowered the fat, right? It isn't about fat, guys. Sugar converts to fat because we are bringing in excess and the body doesn't know what else to do with it. Healthy fats, an avocado a day keeps the doctor away, is what I always say. So I've been eating a good, healthy avocado every day for now over 2 years. In fact, it's got to be 3 years this last month. Blood sugar spikes and crashes will have a big impact on our hunger, our cravings, the way our ghrelin and our leptin are responding in our body. There is such a connection between insulin resistance and difficulty losing weight. I took a genetic test many years ago, and it did show me several things that were very interesting to me. Part of it was cardiovascular, part of it was stress adaptation, and part of it was that I am insulin resistive. So there are strategies to stabilize blood sugar, and they can be very, very effective for weight management. If that's why you're here tonight and you really want to get a handle on that, I'm going to support you in that. So let's talk about insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity refers to how responsive your cells are to the hormone insulin. Insulin is what's regulating your blood sugar levels in your body. High insulin sensitivity is generally desirable. This means you can effectively use your insulin to manage the glucose. This is good. High insulin sensitivity. Conversely, low sensitivity, which is what I was shown in my genetic testing, can lead to health issues, including type 2 diabetes. So this is one of the things and why we're so interested in this topic, because it benefits so many things in our life. Signs of high insulin, good, healthy response. So if you're listening right now and you're hearing these things, this is a good thing. You have stable blood sugar. After eating, your blood sugar remains pretty normal and it quickly goes back to where it's supposed to be. Energy. You feel pretty energetic throughout the day without a lot of, fatigue or sugar cravings. That's a good thing. You have a pretty healthy weight. It's pretty easy to maintain your weight. You feel pretty balanced and good fat metabolism. Better muscle recovery. Your body uses glucose effectively when you're working out, and it's able to repair when you finished working out. And improved cardiovascular health, actually lowering the risk of high blood pressure and health-related issues. So this is somebody that has a good high insulin sensitivity, a good healthy response. Now, conversely, if you're listening to this list of things, this would be the person that would want to go, you know what? I might want to look at making some changes in my life because I do have a lot of the symptoms you speak of with low insulin sensitivity. Frequent hunger. Do you feel like you're always hungry? Like you just can't get enough? You get done eating and it's like just a little something more? Do you have fatigue, like low energy, and you just feel like, man, I'm bringing in what I think is good eating. There's plenty of glucose in my diet, but perhaps the body is not knowing how to use it or disperse it. Weight gain around the abdominal area would be a really good clue. In fact, there's something to be said about that hourglass shape. It's a much healthier shape for a female because we know that typically a woman who has that hourglass figure is going to have a healthier glucose response. Increased thirst and urination is often one of the first signs we see. Brain fog, head discomfort is going to be one of the things you'll notice. Those dark skin patches, you'll see people get like around their armpits, their neck, the groin area. And sometimes they'll actually even turn into like velvety patches. Difficulty losing weight. You do all the right things. I'm exercising, I'm eating the right foods, and I still can't seem to melt away this excess. And elevated blood sugar levels may be an indication you could be pre-diabetic or diabetic glucose ranges are out of the healthy range. If you're craving high sugary, high carb foods, that would probably be due to poor glucose regulation. So, and I can't wait for one of our testimonies tonight because I've been friends with her for many, many years. And this is somebody who said, I can't seem to live without chocolate. I can't seem to live without chocolate. And now she's living without chocolate because she's chosen to make a change in her life because of her having a desire to be here, to be a great grandma, and to live a long life with her grandchildren. So, how do we actually improve insulin sensitivity? Because the last thing I want to do tonight is to have this be, like I'm the Grim Reaper bringing the bad news. There are things we can do, guys. There's always something we can do to actually support a better gene expression. Don't write it off that, oh, so and so had it, so and so had it, so therefore I have it. That does not need to be the truth for any of us. We know that we can genetically change the expression of a gene with lifestyle. So, exercising regularly, eating a good balanced diet, fiber and protein in every snack and meal makes melting away the excess no big deal. Fiber and protein in every snack and meal makes releasing and melting away the excess no big deal. So, fiber, healthy fats, lean proteins, low glycemic impact index foods. If you don't know what these things are, you can Google a whole list of them, but I will share some with you this evening. Managing our stress. So, chronic stress can impair insulin sensitivity and maintaining a healthy weight. If we want to maintain a healthy weight, we can do it, guys. We just need to change up lifestyle and look at what is it I can do to offset some of the stress, eat a better, healthier diet, exercise regularly according to where I'm at in life, right? Sleeping well. Guys, there is nothing that will take you to your grave faster than having an unhealthy sleep pattern. Sleep is number one, even when it comes to regulating our blood sugar. Supplements that are important to consider would be magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and cinnamon. All three of those are instrumental in supporting good insulin function. Very easy supplements to come by. If you've never learned how to calculate the carbs, the net carbs in your foods, this is your cheat sheet. And I'm going to give you an example after I show you this. So don't worry too much about following every word here. You can certainly take a picture of it. But let me start by saying, when I sit down to my plate, I look at my plate and I go, what's my protein? That's my biggest thing. What is my fiber? And what do I have that's going to complement that meal that would be a low glycemic complex carbohydrate like lentils or quinoa or beans or perhaps broccoli or one of the other cruciferous vegetables that's out there. My goal is to stay between 7 to 9 carbs per meal. I know that may sound crazy to some of you, but this is the lifestyle I've lived for a long time, along with many others, in order to stay healthy. So here's how we do it. You take the total carbohydrates in that food and you subtract the fiber and you subtract the sugar alcohols. And if there's sugar alcohols like maltitol, unlike erythritol, you can minus 100%. When it's maltitol, only about 50% because they do have some level of impact on blood sugar. Here's an example. I look at my food label. It says there's 20 grams of carbs in this food. There's 8 grams of fiber, minus that off. There's 6 grams of sugar alcohols, like erythritol. If they end in OL, they're probably a sugar alcohol, right? They are not alcohol, by the way, guys. It's just a substitute, but it does not impact blood sugar level. Minus that 6, and you've got 6 net carbs in that food. So when I look at a label, I was with my friend Carrie not too long ago, and I was eating my Quest protein snack, and she was eating what I would consider a much healthier type of vegetable chip than a lot of them out there. It certainly was. There were some better things about it. But I said, Carrie, let's look at the label on this. How many carbs are in there? And it was like 17 grams per, I don't know, 15 chips. And I said, you know how quickly you put down 15 chips? That's 17 grams. There's no fiber in there. There's no sugar alcohols. That's 17 grams of carbs coming in from a handful of chips, basically. But who would ever think of that? Because we look at the outside of that bag and it looks like, well, this would be a healthy snack. So it was a neat conversation and a real life conversation where maybe that one little tip will support my friend in knowing, hey, maybe I could switch this out to this because I like tasty, crunchy foods too. You just have to find the alternatives that work best for you. So here's a list of the lowest net carb type vegetables. Lots of them. Guys, I can tell you this, eating in color is smart. Most disease doesn't like color. The body loves color. Spinach and lettuce and kale and arugula. Some of the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli and cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, right? Low carb options, zucchini, cucumber, asparagus, celery, mushrooms. Don't tell me that you cannot eat fun, healthy diet with variety if you're eating healthy. Because you can, because you could have a mix of all of these things. Now, interesting because I come from a big farm family. My dad liked corn and peas and potatoes, right? Well, my dad, ran like a wild man his whole life. And I'm sure he was burning all of that off, using it up as energy, right? But with the more sedentary lifestyles, these starchy vegetables are higher on the glycemic index. They have higher carbohydrates, and they are definitely not going to be a healthy choice if we are really working to become healthier. The person who invited you to view this tonight is very familiar with a division of our Nutrimetrics company called Go Trim Slim. Go Trim is a brand with supplements and shakes that support healthy glucose levels. So I wanted to share with you tonight what would be a good example of a healthy diet. And the reason I wanted to share this particular information, that we have a site that lays all of this out in detail, is because I want you to know it's available, and I want the person who invited you to know that they can ask you about this later. So a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. What you're looking at first, is there a nice healthy protein? The eggs in the omelet, the chicken in the salad, the salmon in the dinner, and then complement it with some veggies on the side. In between, a good snack. Why, Shelly, do I have to have something in between? I'm not even hungry. We're going to retrain that metabolism to wake up, right? Just say, wake up, metabolism. Let's go. Let's go. And you want to keep something in between that has fiber and protein in it, because it will keep the blood sugar stable. We don't want to spike. We don't want to crash. Stabilize that blood sugar. Mentally, you will continue to feel clarity. Body wise, you will continue to feel energy. Blood sugar wise, you will continue to support healthy weight. All around the best way you can eat, guys. Too often we're going too many hours and the blood sugar crashes, and then you spike it quick, not with a stick of celery. You're eating the chocolates and the delicious ice cream, anything you can get in there to quick raise that blood sugar. So, a lot of the typical foods that we eat in this country, I wouldn't even call them foods in this country, because there is so much crap in our food in this country that would be banned in other countries. But trust me when I say we're getting there. RFK is doing the work behind the scenes, and we are going to change things up so that our children and our children's children can live a healthy lifestyle. So, pizza. It's funny, I heard a commercial the other day, and I hope my good friend Sue Marks is on tonight, because I know that her family enjoys Cristiano's, right? Pizza in Appleton, Wisconsin. And I'm not doing a plug for Cristiano's, by the way, but I heard their ad and they're like, when I think of a Whole Foods meal, I think pizza. And I'm thinking, I don't think pizza, right? I think pizza, and I think 30 to 40 grams of carbs. So the other day, as I'm putting the information together for this, my husband is standing here. And those of you who know Tony, he's always a character and a half. And he's like, well, I think that's going to depend on the crust, shell. And I'm like, leave it, Tony. It's one slice, 30 to 40 grams. You eat a full pizza. It wouldn't matter what the crust was, right? Pasta dishes, 40 to 50 carbs. My Italians out there, right? Who love their pastas. Hamburger with a bun, 30 to 50 carbs. What did I say we want in a day? Somewhere between 21 and 27 would be good, healthy, supportive of all the things we're talking about. Dear God, you have more than that in one slice of pizza. Fried rice, 45, tacos, 30 to 60, white bread, 14. I mean, just guys, you get this, right? Cereal. And it's not even cereal. It's not even real grain, not to mention the dyes and the crap that are in there, right? Let's add in that it's loaded with sugar. French fries. Well, isn't that interesting? Yeah, I'll take a number one with a medium fry, please. 45 to 60 carbs just in the French fries, guys, right? Potato or corn chips. Popcorn, even. And I love popcorn. Don't get me wrong. I have popcorn once a week. That's my special treat. But there's 30 grams of carbs per 3 cups. Guys, you get my drift, right? You get my drift. We don't, I mean, do we even need to like candy bars, cookies, frosting, ice cream, pie? I love this one. But Shelly, it's apples. But Shelly, it's pecans. Apples and pecans are good for you. Yeah. alone, they're really good for you. Not when they're in a pie laden with sugar, guys, right? So it's funny how we learn to justify, and I'm having fun with you on this, but it is funny how we learn to justify. How about those beverages? How many of you still are drinking soda? Throw it in the chat. Soda, sweet teas. May I invite you to try Zevia, Zevia. Please try Zevia. If you're hooked on the sodas, some people say, well, I like to have a drink, maybe a little shot of vodka with 7 Up. Switch out the 7 Up to Zevia, 7 Up flavor, right? I love, the Zevia creamy root beer one. No sugar, no chemicals, no dyes, and obviously sweetened with stevia. So guys, there's ways to get around bringing in these sickening drinks filled with and laden with gross sugar. So let's talk a little bit behind the scenes, laying a foundation on how insulin resistance actually develops. First of all, we right now eat so much of refined carbohydrates and unhealthy fats that we are bringing in too much food and we are chronically gaining weight at an epidemic rate. And it's showing up not always just on the outside, but on the inside, visceral fat, fat around our organs. Very serious condition, right? So chronic overnutrition and weight gain, inflammation. Inflammation is the culprit to almost everything, guys. It's often caused by obesity. It releases cytokines that are going to disrupt the insulin signaling pathways in your body. That inflammation is going to develop when we bring in the dyes, we bring in the sugars, we bring in the grains that aren't really grains. When we bring in the foods and the body goes, what the heck is that now? The body doesn't know what to do but try and protect you. So it inflames. Increased free fatty acids. So elevated free fatty acids from excess fat storage impair the insulin's ability to actually promote glucose uptake into the muscles where it's supposed to go to help support the body with energy, and suppressing the glucose production in your liver, guys. So we're really now seriously starting to impact the cells, the organs, the tissues of our own body. I want to talk about something called berberine. If you're somebody who's been already looking into this issue and you're Googling things, what would support healthy blood sugar level in my body, berberine is going to pop up. Berberine is going to improve insulin sensitivity. It's going to enhance the activity of insulin. It allows the cell to absorb glucose more efficiently. This is going to reduce your insulin resistance, which is a key factor in type 2 diabetes. Number 2, reducing glucose production in the liver. Berberine will actually inhibit gluconeogenesis, which is the process by which the liver is producing glucose. This is going to help lower fasting blood sugar levels. Again, it's so important for us to make sure we're getting a handle on this proactively. Don't wait until you're sick, guys. Enhancing our gut microbiome. Berberine has an incredible positive impact on gut health, a positive impact on fat metabolism, and a super positive impact on slowing carbohydrate breakdown. Berberine actually slows down carbohydrate digestion. So guys, berberine, remember that ingredient. I will say it is very important that you understand I am not your doctor, and I am not here claiming to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any of your disease states. That is not what tonight is about. Tonight is about awareness and education on a topic that is epidemically impacting our world. So that's what tonight is about. But it is between you and your physician. If you want to take a more holistic approach, to have that conversation and allow them the time to work with you. I have invited an amazing guest tonight. She has been a friend of mine for about 24 years, and we have so much in common, coming from a farm background. But Mary started to notice about 15 years ago that she was having headaches, and there was just something that wasn't right. So I asked her tonight, because she has had success with a healthy lifestyle and berberine, which happens to be in this supplement, Prime Advanced Digestive Support. Mary, would you pop on for a moment and just share with everyone a little bit about you and your journey and what has worked for you?
Yes, thank you, Shelley. This is definitely dear to my heart. Yeah, about 15 years ago, I started noticing headaches. Obviously, my sister went through it too. So I started back then already just kind of doing research and talking to my doctor. And I did start on level 90. I brought that into him right away. We discussed that, and that helped me for quite a long time. I would say at least 10 years. That's with lifestyle, though, eating right, exercising, lifting weights. It wasn't just that, you know. So I started there. It just wasn't enough for me. So it continued to climb. But then when I started the advanced digestive, I would say about 7 months ago is when I really start noticing the difference. Huge. And I also take the goat trim with the lifestyle. I still do the exercise. I still eat as much as clean as possible. Um, but yeah, it definitely made a big difference in my life. I also take the OPC3, and the vitamin D is huge for me. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, and my hormones. I went and got my hormones because I was not sleeping. So that was huge too. So I got my
Wow.
hormones back on track now and I feel good.
Yeah. And Mary, you look amazing and you can tell you feel so much better. You have
I
sustained
do.
energy. And, I hope that everyone noted Mary didn't say, take a pill, you'll be better.
No.
Mary said, I looked at my whole lifestyle, my eating, my sleep, my exercise, my hormone balance. In addition to that, I used good supplements that had clinically evidenced ingredients to
Yes.
support healthy blood sugar. So, Mary, we applaud you. Those of us who know you personally, we have seen this tremendous transformation. And thank you for being willing to share with everybody and give them hope. So please feel free, guys, in the chat to reach out to Mary if you'd like to connect with her on a more personal level.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you.
You bet. And another thing, and I'm sure Mary also is doing well with bringing in fiber. We talked about fiber a little bit earlier, but fiber is really a type of carbohydrate. And I don't know if everybody realizes that, but it cannot digest. So it has a significant impact on blood sugar levels because it slows the glucose absorption in the body. So it is very wise for us, fiber and protein in every meal. However, some people are just frankly not getting the amount that they need in their meals. So we might look at supplementing with a good healthy fiber. So you want a fiber that has soluble and insoluble fiber. You want a fiber that's going to improve insulin sensitivity and it's going to actually reduce the postprandial blood sugar spikes. So foods that are high in fiber will help flatten. Remember, we want stable blood sugar curve after you eat so you don't get those spikes. That's what we're working to avoid, guys. The spike in the crash, the spike in the crash. And unfortunately, that's the way our world seems to be functioning. But you see it. How many of you have people that you work with and you're like, 1 minute they're super nice to you and the next minute they're biting your head off? That's what we call spiking and crashing, right? Fiber supports gut health. And you all know that there's a lot of things that can happen within the gut and the immune system. Most of the immune system, 75%, is being produced or happening within the gut. So it's very important. Hormonal balance within the gut. So again, promoting satiety, feeling full, reducing overeating, and stabilizing our blood sugar. This is the supplement of choice for me because there's probiotics, 10 grams of soluble and insoluble fiber, and L-glutamine. And those of you who feel like I just get those cravings, like I just need a little more, give you the trick of the day. This is my tip of the day. L-glutamine fuels the digestive system, but if you put a little bit of that powder between your cheek and your gum, you'll actually notice that it reduces cravings almost instantly. So L-glutamine is a really powerful amino acid to support that. So you've got a fiber powder that is clinically evidenced, clean and pure, and is going to support the body in getting what you need each day. You want at least 25 grams of fiber in a day. Let's talk about the connection between cardiovascular health issues, the link between high blood sugar, inflammation, and heart disease. Advanced glycation end products, AGEs, they're called, may be very damaging to our blood vessels. Aging our blood vessels and being linked to degenerative diseases. So this is something we really want to pay attention to. Sugar has a direct correlation, negative impact on heart health. People don't want to admit this, and I see it all the time with our elderly. I just brought them a pie. I just brought them a cake. I just brought them a treat. I just brought them a... You're not helping that person. You're not helping that person. I order my dad Built Bars. I bring him bananas. I make sure they're not too ripe. But guys, you are not doing that aging person any favors by filling their body with sugar, because it's feeding the exact issue they're fighting. Sugar and cancer risk. When my mom was going through her cancer, I kept saying, Mom, please, you must understand. Chronic high blood sugar contributes to cancer growth. Insulin plays a role in cell growth and potential connection to tumor development, guys. Benefits of stabilizing our blood sugar can reduce our cancer risk. It is undeniable. When we put cancer cells in a petri dish with greens, they don't grow and mutate. What does that tell you? Bring in the greens, pH balance, get the sugar out. Sugar's acidic. Get it out of the diet and the cancer won't grow. How to support healthy blood sugars? It's almost exactly what Mary just shared. Nutrition, focus on whole foods, low glycemic eating. Regular exercise to improve insulin sensitivity. This is where we're talking about changing that gene expression. Stress management to lower cortisol, so we're not getting that tummy fat, that excess fat around the midsection. Healthy sleep is crucial for blood sugar regulation. So thus far, some of the takeaways. Blood sugar regulation is central to preventing and managing chronic disease. Effective strategies include balanced nutrition, exercise, and stress management. Sleeping well. Addressing blood sugar is key to improving overall health. Talk about a holistic approach to health. Oh, but Shelley, my doctor said I can just take Ozempic. Well, you can. So what about Ozempic? Many of you have heard in the news, and I'm sure 30 years from now, it'll be lawsuit after lawsuit, right? Because when you look at some of the serious risks, everybody wants the quick fix. This is my warning to you. If you really want the quick fix, then work with somebody and ask for their help, accountability, and support. But this is not the quick fix, guys. You may play now and go, well, I'm losing weight. You will pay later. Your pancreas, kidneys, things to watch for might be gallbladder issues, severe pain in the abdomen, thyroid tumors, and even medullary thyroid carcinoma can be related as a side effect of Ozempic. And I'm sure there's other drugs out there just like this, but what I'm saying is there's too many people I love and care about that are choosing this. This is not the answer, guys. This is not the answer. Cardiovascular concerns with this drug. Guys, we really, really have to consider. I get it. These drugs come through, they're FDA approved. My statements are not FDA approved with this presentation. And at the same time, I have always trusted those people who don't benefit from the person who is sharing information with them. But if I'm going to benefit by selling you a drug, and trust me when I say these are multi-million, probably billion, close to $1 trillion industries in some situations, you might want to just do a little bit of your own research. Once again, I am not here to cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent any of your diseases. I am here just lovingly to support you. Anything that I recommend from a supplemental standpoint within my practice, I first look at the clinical evidence, the comprehensive blends, the synergy in the product, and the science to prove it. I choose things that are pure potent and have the quality that we're looking for. So anything that I recommend has already been checked for heavy metals, contaminants, allergens, residual solvents. The things that I talk about, we are not using chemical solvents to extract things. We are using the least invasive processes to continue to have the integrity within that supplement. Some of the supplements that I feel are very instrumental in supporting, aside from the things I mentioned earlier with the omega, the magnesium, Advanced Level 90. Mary mentioned it. We're going to hear another share about that supplement later this evening. Prime astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is known to support healthy blood sugar regulation. Isochrome, I will talk a little bit about. And if you're concerned cardiovascular wise, astaxanthin and the lower left, coenzyme Q10, whether you choose an isotonic solution like that pictured, or the tablet or capsule form that we have, which I choose over the isotonics only in that particular product, because I like the way the advanced coenzyme Q10 is absorbed. What's so unique about isochrome? First of all, many of us have heard for many, many, many years, most weight management supplements will have chromium in them, right? So hence isochrome with L-carnitine, an amino acid that's found in almost every cell in our body. Interesting. It supports fat metabolism in the heart, the organs, and the tissues. Interesting, right? We talked about internal fat, right? Visceral fat coming as a result of the extra sugar. And it occurs naturally in animal products, very small amounts in plant products. So if someone is vegan, vegetarian, they may have more difficulty in getting the L-carnitine that they want in their diet. And we're going to also see extra energy. Coenzyme Q10 is fat soluble. However, it's important you know that we have the beadlets, the fat beadlets in here to get this isotonic solution, which is absorbed within 5 to 10 minutes per dose into the bloodstream. Isotonics is the most advanced bioavailable nutraceutical in the world. Comes as a powder, mix it with water, drinky drink, and let it go to work. But this one is going to exhibit activity as a free radical scavenger, an antioxidant in the body, and promoting cardiovascular health. And lipase, which is a fat digesting enzyme. Many of you who take our digestive enzymes know that we already have the lipase, the protease, and the other enzymes that break down the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins in our food so we can draw the nutrients. Okay, so isochrome is supportive with helping support blood sugar regulation because it's got the L-carnitine, the CoQ10, the B vitamins, and chromium, 2 types of chromium, which supports blood sugar regulation. Lots of benefits to this particular supplement, including better energy, better stamina, good muscle recovery, good muscle strength, and of course, weight management. Now I want to talk about the product that Mary mentioned, Level 90, which is my favorite product. So if you were asking me the question, which would you start with, either Level 90 or Isochrome? Personally, I would start with Level 90 because I've seen the best results with my clients with Level 90. Level 90 has alpha lipoic acid. Many of you have heard of this super powerful antioxidant. It's going to support natural production of energy in the body from our fat and our sugar, utilizing those things we're bringing in. And again, it's in addition to a healthy diet. It's going to support normal elimination of glucose and elimination of glucose from the blood, and it's going to help support normal insulin function. So some of the level 90 ingredients include Gymnema sylvestre, glucomannan, and American ginseng. All of these that have been shown to reduce sugar cravings, to support healthy blood sugar level, delaying stomach emptying. So you've got that glucomannan, that glucoman in your tummy, helping with the dietary fiber. The American ginseng, you've heard of this for performance, for physical activity, to offset mental and physical stress on the body. This product will support sugar cravings, normal release of activity of insulin, normal blood sugar, weight management, and help maintain. So could you take this product even if you don't feel like, hey, maybe you just know you're not the greatest eater. There's been some history of things in your family. Sure, you could. Absolutely, you could. Why not give it a try and be proactive in that? I've invited another very good friend of mine from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, who not only was undergoing a tremendous amount of stress for, I know it was at least 3 years, at the same time, just really didn't have the capability or the energy to really worry about diet. But she was very concerned about her health, and Level 90 was one of those supplements that she found great success with. So please help me welcome to share a little bit about her story, Dodie Ash.
Thank you very much, Shelley. I appreciate the opportunity of doing this, and thank you, Mary, for doing such a beautiful lead-in. And I tip my hat to both of you for the information that you've given so far. Level 90. So My journey with elevated sugar levels started about 8 years ago, and I went through a doctor. Everything that they did with me helped me. I was twice the limit of what I should have been, heavy weight gain, everything that has been mentioned already. And within 6 months, I was able to use lifestyle changes to no longer be on anything for my elevated sugars. And that lasted for about 3 years. And as Shelley stated, there was a lot of stress that happened. And the first thing that I started taking after I started realizing that they were starting to get a little out of hand was the level 90. What that did for me, I was experiencing, my feet were starting, my toes were numbing. It was the craziest feeling in the world. And no pain yet, but the numbing. And level 90 will help with the peripheral nerves, which is what causes your feet to go numb because of the damage to the nerves because of elevated sugar levels. And what that has done for me is take it with every meal. I found when I don't, guess what happens, guys? It comes right back. It doesn't like fix anything. It does miraculously cure anything. But what it does is it helps alleviate some of the symptoms of elevated sugar. And since then, with my job, there were some changes. And of course, with all the stress that happened, I couldn't maintain it with just lifestyle changes. So I had to add some, go back to the doctor and get some help. And then the insurance changes. So then I could no longer take that and I panicked. And because I know that, I mean, level 90 is great with my body, but I need a little more help than that. And thank goodness for the leaders that have helped me through this, that have talked to me about the other um, supplements that we have, the Go Trim and the Axe and the Core. One of those things, all of that together for me, I no longer have to go back to the doctor because it's been in a regular range, and it's the feet numbing is probably the biggest notice for me because it was getting tragic. So I thank you
Mm.
so much for allowing me the chance to share this.
Oh, well, our thank you to you actually, Dodie. And you know, we just have kept you in our prayers because we do understand you have been through a lot. And I think that's why that testimony is so positive, is because, you know, you were undergoing tremendous amount of stress that does play such a huge role in this. And
Mhm.
you're right. You're right for, you know, just looking at, all right, so what can I do right now? What can I do to offset some of this while I'm walking through some seasons in my life? And you mentioned Go Trim, and so did Mary. So I wanted to bring that up, that again, the person who invited you, they can lead and direct you and support you with what might work best for you. So you could look into the Go Trim lifestyle, where we support you in what you're eating and what you're supplementing with and how we can offset some of these things. So I'm going to highly recommend that. And one of the supplements that I think will help all of us through the holidays, I couldn't have picked a better time for this topic, really. We're moving into Thanksgiving, the feast, right? Definitely ask the person who invited you about digestive enzymes because you're going to need them. But this Go Trim nutrition shake, 19 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, protein and fiber in every snack and meal, right? 24 vitamins and minerals. How perfect is this? And guys, you can use this for baking. You know, what I do is I like to throw in that NutriClean fiber powder, my shake. If I'm going to make pancakes for my grandkids, I am making them with the shake. So they're getting fiber and protein and vitamins and minerals, right? The Go Trim Core. Please don't be that person that says, well, I just stopped taking all my supplements during the holidays because I just eat like crap anyway. No, 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 no. This is the time to make sure you take your supplements, because the Go Trim Core is exactly what you need to offset the uptake of some of the carbohydrates, curbing your appetite, supporting healthy blood sugar, supporting satiety, supporting your leptin response, which is your hormone that turns on and says, you're done, Shelly, you're done. You had enough, right? The turkey is gone. So Core would be a great one to offset some of that. And it's very supportive throughout the entire year. Go Trim Slim is a newer supplement that a lot of us are seeing great results with shrinkage of fat cells. Actually has been scientifically documented to start working anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days and start shrinking down those fat cells by 14%, curbing our appetite, supporting satiety, supporting healthy blood sugar. And if you're one that likes to maybe have a glass of wine or something after your dinner, then maybe this would be something to take to offset what's going to happen to your liver when you're choosing to do that, right? So I'm just very strong in encouraging people. This is the time to be taking your supplements, right? Don't throw in the towel and say, oh, I always gain 10 pounds. What if you could actually just release the excess during the holidays? Wouldn't that be fun? And one of the things that I'm highly emphasizing is, and I'm going to be doing an event on this early December with Kim and Nancy Elliott out in the Arizona area. We're going to be talking about what should your plate look like if you really want to eat according to regulating blood sugar levels. So I personally want to say thank you all for attending tonight. Sorry about the technology in the beginning. It happens, right? I'm just so grateful you were all able to make it back on with me. Reach out to the person who invited you and let them know, what are your concerns? You know, what do you need to know? GoTrim.com might be a site for you, but don't go there and spend any money until you've asked them for your free gift and your coupon code, because they will have that for you. They will offer this to you good through November 22nd, including myself, for all my guests that are joining me this evening. Thank you for being here. And continue to join us for our series of wellness events, the third Tuesday of each month. So in January, we're going to hit on men's health, and then February, we're going to hit on children's health. So again, my name is Shelley Bow. I'm a rapid transformation therapy practitioner, a nutraceutical consultant, a product specialist, and someone who is very passionate about educating all of us on what we can do to be a healthier population. I want to thank my panelists this evening, especially Mary and Dodie, and all of you behind the scenes who supported me, the Elliots and Kim Rayner and Kathy Brock always, and all of you, Dee McNamara, who have been here to support me as I've been working through educating on these topics throughout this 9-month series. So thank you all. I appreciate all of you. I will pull up the chat quick just to make sure if there's anything that I need to answer quick for anybody. I am so thankful that we were able to, even though I can't see you, you can see me, you can hear me, and that's really all that matters. So I wish you all a great evening, and Kim Rayner, I'll see you in just a little bit. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.